Good morning. It is now time for Terry Gartrell, your professional. Welcome to Total Wellness, Winning in Mental Health with your professional mental health counselor and certified coach, life coach, Terry Gartrell. And she will be on in just a minute. Good morning, Preacher Kelly. Good morning. Good morning, Jessica. Oh no, that's Jessie. Hi, Jessie. Oh my goodness, it's so great to see you. I'm just waiting on our professional to come on. I'm going to while I'm waiting on her to come on live. I want to thank you for tuning in to Total Wellness with Terry Gartrell. It's Total Wellness. She encourages you to rewrite your story. I'm hoping she is coming on soon. Good morning, Jay. And there is Terry. Awesome. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. 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 All right. It is wonderful. I've got Terry up, and look at that beautiful face this morning. It is Maria in the morning, and we are welcoming you to Total Wellness, Winning in Mental Health with your professional mental health counselor and certified life coach, Terry Gartrell. Good morning, lady.
Good morning, everyone.
All right, sweetie. So, what are we talking about today, dear?
Well, today, what we're talking about, just a quick review. Last week, we were talking about the stress factor and actually talking.
Right.
Yes, we were talking about events that actually cause stress, and we label things as good and bad. So
Right.
we were talking about events that could be considered good, such as marriage, completing a degree, getting a new job. And we labeled events that could be considered bad, such as losing a job,
Correct.
um,
Right.
divorce. And so those things can cause mental illness in the form of
Mm-hmm.
maybe anxiety, depression, and some other,
Right.
and even some physical symptoms to manifest. And so what we were talking about this month, just to recap, is to when to know when to refer and when to know when to go and get a professional evaluation or assessment, something.
Can you turn your volume up just a little bit, Terry? Just a little bit. Your volume,
My
if
volume.
at all possible. Yes.
Okay, let me see. Is that any better?
Okay. That's a little better. That's a little
Okay.
better.
Okay.
All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And so this week, excuse me, this week, what we want to talk about is how we recognize those different behaviors and symptoms. Because as clinicians, sometimes the different mental illnesses look very similar.
Yes.
They look very, very similar. And so that's to a trained eye. So to
All
someone
right.
to someone who is not trained, you can imagine that it can be even more difficult. They do, I will be honest with you, and I discourage this, but at the same time, it's okay. They do have, but you need to make sure that you're using a credible site. They do have certain screenings that you can use online, but
Mm-hmm.
I always encourage you to seek a professional. We have too many
Yes.
we have too many people that are trying to diagnose themselves
Wow.
or diagnose their family members, and you know many times when we as professionals are talking to people, the initial diagnosis that we give somebody changes, because
Mm-hmm.
we don't want to start out giving someone, you know, a severe diagnosis when that's not what it is. Because again, I say some diagnoses look very, very similar, but diagnosis when that's not. People will develop that condition by the age of 14.
By the age of 14?
By the age of 14. Yes, ma'am. And as a matter of fact, I had one come in this week. Okay. Yes, ma'am. And as a matter of fact,
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. You know, the video is not always acting right, so
okay, I
I
just wanted to
apologize.
make
Go ahead.
sure. Okay, so what I would like people to think about is, what do you think are some of the signs? I mean, I don't know if this is your first time joining or if you've been joining over the past few weeks, but what do you think are some of the signs that show you that someone needs help or could possibly need a screening? If you could just
So you
start
want them to put that in the
in the
comments?
comments, start typing
Put
that
that
in
in
the
the
comments.
comments.
As I
All
begin to
right.
talk, as I continue to talk to you, and I will address those at the end of what I'm saying. Okay, so as we're moving forward, the whole purpose of me doing these presentations and bringing people on is to, first of all, I want us to change the way we think about mental illness. We need
Correct.
we need to change the way that we think about mental illness, because until we do that, we're not going to address it. We will always attach a stigma to it, and we will
Yes.
just, things will continue to get worse. Just as when you go to the doctor, you've heard of intervention.
Yes.
They try to catch things in the first stage.
Right.
Right. So when it gets to the last stage, sometimes it's too late.
It's too late. Wow.
So we want to do that in mental illness as well. We want to cut it off in the first stage.
How do we do that, Terry?
Okay, so we do that. First of all, we need to change our attitude about it, and we need to increase our awareness. And that's what I've been talking about over the last few weeks, knowing when to refer, knowing what events can cause mental illness. And today I want to talk about, sometimes some mental illnesses are internalized,
Yes.
some are externalized. Okay, so internalizing is when an individual tends to hold things in, uh, and it may include isolation, withdrawal, depression,
Right.
a change in their eating patterns, change in their sleeping patterns. You might see these type of things. Loneliness, they call themselves loners, and some of them
Mm-hmm.
are, but I mean, it goes to the extreme. So,
Well, Terry, tell me what would an extreme be? How can we identify that
okay,
when
so
someone is being extreme with wanting to be a loner?
Okay, so for instance, if you're introverted, so you normally
Yes.
you spend a lot of time by yourself anyway, but say you have a couple of people in your family that you normally talk to, or maybe somebody reaches out to you. Okay, so if you're going to the extreme or you're really going through something, you may not answer your phone, you may not reach
Wow.
out to them, you may not reach out to them, you may not make that weekly call.
Got it. Okay. So when they just totally cut
Shut
themselves off
down.
from people.
They totally shut
All right.
down. They totally
That
shut
makes
down.
sense.
Right. Okay. So, this is why I'm very adamant about communication, because when we hold things in, it is not good. We can start to manifest even physical symptoms when we hold things in. Okay. So
Wow.
that's internalizing. Okay. Externalizing is what the most stigma is attached to, because
All right.
these are the things that we can see.
All right.
These are the things when people are causing a disruption in their environment.
So let's say if you were in school, the person that's a class clown.
Yes, they may be defiant. They may be
Defiant.
conduct disorders. The children,
Conduct is okay.
they're not paying attention to anything the adult is saying to them. Um, which could be confused with another diagnosis. That's why I said it's best to refer.
Right, right. Okay.
At home, they may not be listening to a parent, and it could be because of lack of focus, which would be another
Mm.
category. It might not be conduct disorder. It may be ADHD.
Wow.
So you,
Okay.
right,
And as a parent, we're trying to discipline the child when really the child has a mental illness.
correct, correct.
Wow. Okay.
So I deal
That's
with
good
that.
information.
Right. So this is what I deal with a lot. And you have to, these are the things that the stigma is attached to, because a parent, they don't want to think, oh, I don't want my child on medicine. I don't want, they don't want to think that my child has a quote unquote mental illness. And
But the truth of the matter is, if it's there, we need to deal with it.
exactly. And if you deal with it, you can live a normal life.
Understood.
If you do not deal with it, you will have problems. They will get worse. As I said, stage 1.
That's
Stage
what I was
2.
going to ask you. So does that just get worse?
Exactly. Yes.
So even though that person is getting older, they go into adulthood, um, and you see all kind of erratic behavior, or when you know that this person knows better, but they're not doing better with their lives, then it's probably safe to assume that this person really has an issue.
Right. And this is when we need to refer. Go get an assessment. You can do your little online assessment. Don't make that the last and final say so.
You need to go see a
Seek
clinical
professional.
professional.
Right. Right. Some of the other disorders you may see are self-medicating, when someone is drinking excessively, alcohol,
Wow. Wow.
using
Okay.
drugs, substance abuse. Those are just
Oh,
symptoms.
Terry, we have a question.
Yes. What
Jesse
is the
is
question?
asking if I am bipolar 1 and add, when do I start looking for signs in my kids?
You constantly do assessments. You constantly pay attention. And one thing that I did not mention earlier, when I said I'm very big on communication, you will be able to pick up if you are we live very fast paced, some of us, very fast paced, hectic lifestyles. But one thing I always did, I had one day out of the week where my family sat down and ate dinner together.
Good.
I grew up, we ate dinner together every day.
Wow.
Okay, we ate dinner together every day, and breakfast too. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that is just unheard of nowadays.
Absolutely
I
it
don't know
is.
anybody who does it. So
Right.
I encourage you to take at least one day that you're sitting down having dinner, especially couples, people with children, because that gives us an opportunity to review our day, review our week. We can share the things that are going well. We can share the things that are going not so well. We can get insight and opinions. You know what I'm saying? And that will give you the opportunity to come face to face with your
All right.
loved ones so that you can really see what's going on. Okay?
That makes sense. She said that they do try to do that, so that's good
That's
news.
excellent.
Terry, we've got 1 minute left. I know
Okay.
the time always flies, and we just
I
get
know I
started.
will be increasing. I know I will, because 15 minutes flies by. And I just hope this is what I would like for people to do. If these recordings are helping you at all in any form or fashion, I would like for you to share this video with at least 2 people. Please share
Good.
this video,
Good.
because the first step is becoming aware and changing our attitude. Okay?
Wow.
Don't be ashamed, because this is a normal part of life. We just need to treat it. It's just as normal as hypertension or,
Yes,
physical illnesses and ailments. We need to
that's
address,
good.
we need to do the checkup from the neck up and keep ourselves in order.
Wow, that's awesome. So thank you for listening to Total Wellness with Terry Gartrell. She encourages you to learn to rewrite your story. I like that. According to Romans 12:2, do not be conformed to this world any longer with its superficial values and customs, but be transformed and progressively changed as you mature spiritually by the renewing of your mind, focusing on godly values and ethical attitudes, so that you prove for yourselves what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect in his plan and purpose for your life. Terry is trained in both spiritual and clinical aspects. She provides you with the service solutions, and she is looking forward to partnering with you. I see that smile on
Absolutely.
your face,
Absolutely.
on your healing transformation journey. Contact Terry at www.nuvision4ucounseling.com or 904-866-22148. This program is underwritten by NuVision Counseling and Coaching Solutions. Thank you so much, Terry. You'll be back next Wednesday.
Yes. Thank
All
you,
right. Be
everyone. Have a
blessed.
great day.